But I wanted to throw this up just to see if you guys have seen this. So Nancy Mace, as we all know, has been crusading for women's
before TJ gets into this, I need to comment on the fact that he couldn't find a way to segue bad jokes into Nancy Mace. Like,
does she make jokes? Does she? Well, I guess she, okay.
Speaking of bad jokes,
Nancy Mace, yeah, it's true.
Nancy Mace.
God damn,
very simple, TJ.
I can't stand Nancy Mace, man. That would have been a decent one. Like, bad joke. Look at this. Anyway, but Nancy Mace was talking about. She's always talking about trans issues and how she's terrified for her life because trans women exist and everything. But she made a post I saw a couple of days ago where she showed a picture of her. She went to the Citadel, which is a military academy, I believe, in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And she was the first woman to graduate from the Citadel. And so she put a post up saying, I didn't graduate as the first woman from the Citadel to see men invade women's spaces and stuff like that. And our dear friend Matt Walsh saw this post and was none too pleased. And I wanted to show everyone what he said here. And
Did he call her a DEI hire?
Basically so. He said, the girl boss feminism routine isn't just cringy, it also directly undermines our argument. The Citadel was a male-only space forced by law to admit females in the name of diversity and inclusion. That is the exact argument trans-identifying males use to invade female spaces. Nancy Mace was literally a beneficiary of a DEI program. It's a ridiculous and tone-deaf thing to brag about in this moment. And you know what? Matt Walsh is dead fucking right. He's 100% correct. And which I don't think we've ever said this on the show before, but Matt Walsh told no lies in that entire sentence that, yes, this was a male program. The reason, actually, there's two reasons Nancy Mace was allowed the Citadel. First, for the military and military academies expanding their reach to grow their recruiting pool. Why wouldn't they want to do that? Second, because her dad was the commandant of the school. Very important to point that out. That's why Nancy Mace was there. It
wasn't DEI. It was nepotism.
It was nepotism and DEI. It was like the best possible combination of everything. And so he's like, yeah, so you're the beneficiary of a DEI program and you're a woman, interloper, invading men's spaces. This is the exact argument you're using against the trans folks. You should stop. And by the way, feminism is bad. I mean, he was wrong about that. But I mean, this is just that hypocrisy burning doesn't get people anywhere. But I like when it's right on right hypocrisy, because the only hope we have of surviving this, honestly, is if the right wing starts tearing themselves apart. And also, we kind of knew it's coming too, because whenever you see these people who are the members of disenfranchised groups supporting the right wing, we always say, like, folks, it's just a matter of time before they come for you, and now they've come for you, Nancy Mace. I expect to see a whole lot more of this. So that's one of the only ways we can start progressing, is if they start tearing themselves apart. Todd, I know you got something to say about this. You were
I'm just
exhaling and eye-rolling the whole time.
I'm like, why did he stop with she was invading a male space at the Citadel? Why did he not say she's invading a male space in Congress? Like, why is that not his argument? Like, but
yeah, it's women in Congress is women voting in general. I mean, that's just a DEI program for democracy.
Yeah, right. But it's really got under my skin that she's leading this charge. Like, listening to her talk about DEI and then in the next breath talk about, I'm the first woman to ever graduate from the Citadel, which I'm like, awesome, congratulations. But it's not okay for you to think that, because you're being hypocritical.
I hate to give it to Matt Walsh, but I will say, excuse me, sorry, that Matt Walsh is very good at what he does. Matt Walsh is, in fact, one of the best. He is so good at writing bait. He might be the all-time greatest, because the way that he's able to instigate everyone and still have a pretty strong argument is absolutely incredible. Because how many people he pissed off with that tweet that are going to engage with it, both on the left and the right. And as TJ said, no lies really detected in it. I applaud it. I have game, respect, game. But like, it is funny. I will say, I don't think it is cool to make fun of normal people when the leopards eat their face. I think it is counterproductive to what we're trying to do. I think it's cruelty for the sake of cruelty. And kind of like, yeah, what is the joke? The joke is that this poor person, it doesn't have fucking healthcare now. Like, that's funny to you. But when the leopards eat the other leopards' faces, that's hilarious. That is the funniest fucking thing. When you have someone who has perpetuated and benefited from this leopards eating facing party at the highest of levels, yeah, it's funny when leopards eat their face. And that's exactly what happened to Nancy Mace here, because she totally uses the girl boss feminism thing.
So have we gotten to the bottom
fucking argument?
Have we got to the bottom, like the mistake she made thinking that there was a trans woman in the bathroom and she confronted that person? Was that just like some random citizen who was at the Capitol using a bathroom, or was that another Congress member? Do we know that?
I didn't hear about that. I don't know if I heard about that.
Yeah, Nancy Mace. Of course, Nancy Mace is the one who drafted the legislation to keep the other Congresswoman out of the women's bathroom. Well, Mace in the last few days went in the bathroom and confronted a woman who she thought was a trans woman in the bathroom, and ended up having to apologize. And I never heard if it was like another member of Congress or if it was just some private citizen who she harassed in there.
Two things weird about that. The first thing is that's going to be like these bathroom bills don't make sense if you think about it for 5 minutes. They don't make sense at all, because what's going to happen a lot are women who don't appear feminine enough. You know, maybe they're too tall, or maybe their faces are too wide, or whatever, are going to be accused of being men, and they're going to call the cops on them. And that's going to, or we're going to have genital checks before you go to bathrooms or whatever. And second, Congress people have their own bathrooms. Like it's a weird, like they have bathrooms in the office. It's a completely unnecessary thing. I hadn't heard about that, but yeah, I don't know. Do you find anything, John?
Yeah, no, I'm reading this now. Like I can't, Todd, I can't believe that I hadn't heard about this. This happened. This is from Friday, January 24th. I guess I was on vacation paying personally, but this feels like it has all of the, God, my fucking light. This feels like it has all of the makings of just a viral fucking story.
A lot going on this last week, though.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. A lot going on. In a slow news week, this would have carried it. But it was her and Lauren Boebert.
Come on. Really? This is a setup. Come on.
And they confronted... so the pair confronted a cisgender woman in the restroom, mistakenly believing her to be the Delaware Democratic lawmaker who's first out transgender member of Congress. That's funny. They didn't just expect her to be trans. They expected her to be a specific trans woman who she wasn't. That's really funny. McBride had previously said that she would follow House rules after Johnson banned transgender people. The incident has reignited criticism of Johnson's anti-trans bathroom regulations. That's so funny. Not that they just thought it was a random trans woman. They thought it was a literal member of Congress whose picture they can look up. They work with this person. You know, and they're like, I think you're this person.
You know what that shows? That shows how great of a transition McBride had. Honestly, that is like, oh, you actually mistaked, a cis woman for her. I would be very proud.
There is actually people out there who are making videos of Nancy Mace and the transgender. I'm sorry, what's her name? The Congresswoman.
I can't remember the last name. I think it's McBride.
It was McBride, yeah.
And they're like, of these two people, which one? And again, I'm not for making fun of anybody's appearance.
We see where you're going. Yeah.
But Nancy Mace is the one who a lot of people, when given the lineup of which one of these two people do you think, it's like Nancy Mace. Like, which is not cool. That's not cool. But it just shows the ridiculousness of this argument. And like John said, like, you said, like, how do you even begin to enforce any of this? You can't. It is unenforceable.
You can't.
That's exactly what like being here saying. Like, what's the joke? The joke in that situation is not that Nancy Mace looks like a dude. That if people want to believe that, fine. I don't care about that. But Nancy Mace does. And the point of the joke is to highlight the hypocrisy of character. Like that's the joke. It's not, haha, Nancy Mace is ugly. Which honestly, this is the first I've ever heard of this. I've never seen Nancy Mason gone. She kind of looks like a dude, but to each their own.
No, she doesn't look like a dude, but like if you're gonna she's taller and a lot thinner. It's like, okay, all right. If you're forcing me to pick, okay. And I like that we have a comment from I Will Trans Your Kids. The Congresswoman is Sarah Elizabeth McBride. Thank you, I Will Trans Your Kids. I wanted to. Oh God, that's great. That's great. I saw this continuation from Matt Walsh and everything about this Nancy Mace thing. So another favorite person on the show, Meghan McCain, has commented saying that Matt Walsh went too far. Once again, Todd, I saw the eye roll or whatever. Meghan McCain, I've said this about Ben Shapiro, or honestly any rich conservative born to a rich family or an influential family. Even if, let's say I was born to, like, my dad was a senator or something, and I was a conservative and said, you guys need to work to get to where you are in life, I wouldn't say it out loud. I would be too embarrassed. I'd be too ashamed to say, yeah, all you folks who don't have it as good as me, you just aren't working hard enough. You would never hear me say shit like that. So the fact that Meghan fucking McCain gets up on her high horse talking about how, people need to scrap and really make it to survive is hilarious. But she jumped on Matt Walsh for his rude words to Nancy Mace, and I want to show.
This entire fucking sequence. This is
great.
All new to me. I'm learning so much on this show.
This is great. Yeah,
it's hilarious discourse. I feel so bad about going on vacation. I wish I was here for all this.
Have you heard about the McCain girl starting the rumors about the Obamas?
Oh, the divorce?
Yeah, the divorce and the alleged affair with Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's real. Let's stick it to Obama. Let's make up a rumor about him fucking Jennifer Aniston. That's really going to make him look like a loser.
That's funny too, because it's one of those things. Like, look, even if it's true, it sounds wild. Even if it's true, nobody is going to care. I mean, more than half of the adults I know are divorced. You think he was going to give a fuck? Anyone's going to care? I don't know. It's just
Trump is divorced 3 times.
Trump is 3 times. Yeah. Care. So. All right, so Meghan McCain responded, this is insanely ignorant in the terms of history of transgenderism and how it's manifested. Transgenderism began and was popularized via male autogynephiles. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's a word I've never seen before. Autogynephiles and male sex.
Poop girl? Is this who we're talking about?
No. That's I know her name, but it's not her. Poop girl is like the gun girl or whatever, but Meghan McCain is John McCain's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Megan Murphy. Oh, Megan Murphy. Wrong person. Shit. Well, I know what Megan Murphy is, but she's not Poop Girl either. Caitlyn, Poop Girl's Caitlyn something. Caitlyn Bennett. That's her name. Caitlyn Bennett. Caitlyn Bennett. I take nothing back of the shitting on Meghan McCain, but she did not make this tweet. My bad. Feminism screwed up during the third wave and became not feminism really, but second wave. Matt Walsh says, this is the lamest dodge and no one is falling for it. Feminists casually dismiss all the damage their movement has done as being part of a different wave. Tell me, Meghan, which wave decided that humans in the womb don't count as people and have no moral value? What was the good wave and what was the bad one? I lose track. Once again, Matt Walsh bringing the heat as usual by saying that feminism is bad. I don't care which wave. I don't care. It's rotten to the core. And this is an argument that you'll hear conservatives say a lot. That, all these pushes for diversity, they destabilize institutions. They use this argument against the military desegregating, the military desegregating back in the 40s or 50s. And they said, listen, if you bring black soldiers into white units, that's going to, destabilize the culture of the unit. And they're right. It did. The unit figured it out, right? You're going to run across problems like that. But if you want to know if something works, look to see if the military.
The military has always been a testing ground for everything in society. It
is the surefire way to see, like, bringing women in the military essentially doubled your chance to bring people into the force, and you could put them in any job that you want. Women, they put women in combat. It's like, okay, it makes sense. Like, if they can meet the qualifications, why would we want the extra bodies? Bringing, black soldiers in, it's like, oh yeah, this increases morale of the troops. It makes the fighting force more efficient and more lethal. This is how I know, by the way, that astrology is bullshit. Because if astrology were real, the military would be using it. You would have you would have units set up. Say, okay, the Scorpios work well with the Pisces. So make sure you would know everyone in your platoon would have the exact same month of birth. We would know all about this. It's also how I know magic doesn't work. Like if magic helped us win wars, every battalion would be just full of wizard platoons.
Us kill brown people, we would have done it already.
Yeah. There would be full wizard platoons every single time we went to combat to help us win these wars. So yeah, that's how I know this stuff is bullshit, because if there was any truth to it whatsoever, the military would have tried it, just like they did with desegregation and with integration with women. So
DJ, speaking of magic and the military and turfs, I just want to pop off a real quick Harry Potter take. That Harry Potter should just use a sniper rifle. That's that's one of those things I've always said. Like, why the fuck did you fight Voldemort with magic when like tanks exist? Like, it never made any sense to me. But no, it's really funny because we say this all the time. I respect logically consistent arguments more than I do a lot of fucking arguments. And Matt Walsh is making the logically consistent arguments.
He is.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. He's fucking wrong.
Yeah, he's a bigot.
He's basing it off of incorrect evidence. Because, like you said, if this were actually true, if segregation or
integration,
I was like, what's the opposite of segregation?
Yeah.
If integration actually destabilized institutions, our military would suck dick.
Yep.
Our entire country would suck dick. How do these people think that we are the country that has the most diversity, the most immigrants, the most clashing of cultures, and we just coincidentally also happen to be the richest country overall, the richest country per capita, the country with the strongest military, the country with the strongest tech sector, all of these things, the country with the largest cultural output, all of these things exist. And we did it in spite of the fact that we're the most diverse country? Are you really fucking trying to tell me that? Yeah, like I said, with the fucking diversifying your stock portfolio. Conservatives understand that. They understand why you would need to balance out the different stocks you invest in, even if each individual stock is of equal value. So why don't you get that with people, bro? It's human capital. Yeah. It should make sense to you.
The only argument you could make that would be logically sound, the only one, is that what you said, that it happened in spite of it. Because us being the most, the richest or most powerful country, whatever, and being the most diverse doesn't necessarily mean that the diversity caused that. That's true. But it does mean it didn't prevent it, right? You can't argue that it prevented it, because we could be, China is not particularly diverse, but China is catching up and beating us in a lot of